Morning, boys and girls. Good morning, parents. It's Mr. Dean. So for math today, I'd like you to start out with a math song. There is one additional song that I put on there that's place value. It's a lot of fun. Again, it's new. Don't expect your kiddo to be able to sing along to it. You could play it, once a day and it'll start to click and they'll know the words. But brand new song. The other video is a nice introduction to place value and base 10 blocks. So that is also in the plan. There's a link. So I encourage you to show both of those videos. I'm going to flash a quick look card that will have two 10 frames on it. Your child is going to get to see that 10 frame for 2 seconds, and then I'm going to take it away. And during that time, they can call out what number of counters they saw in the two 10 frames. Okay? So for example, here we go. 1, 2, and then they would tell you what they saw. After they said what they think they saw, you could show it to them again. And then they'll give you reasoning. And what I would like to hear from them is exactly what their brain thought of. So for example, I saw 6 on one side and 4 on the other. I know that 6 and 4 make 10, so this is 10. Here comes another one. Get ready. Okay, I'm going to bring it back up. And now I want your mathematician to tell you what number they see and how they know. Next one. Whistling is optional. Okay, tell your adult what you saw. Bring it back up. Okay, and now tell them how you know. So for example, your kiddo could say, I see 2 on this side. I see 2 blank spaces. I slid these 2 over to make a full 10, and that's how I know that it's 10. Also talk with them about if you were to create a number model, which is a number sentence, what would you say is on this side? And they could say 2. And what would you say is on this side? And they would say 8. Well, we could say 2 and 8 make 10. We could also say 2 plus 8 make 10. We could take those numbers and flip them around and say 8 plus 2 equals 10. Next, I'm going to ask you to go into your math packet, and you are going to be skipping a page because I decided that this will, the page before will be tomorrow's work. But for today, this is page 69. It's a math box. There are 4 questions to be answered. Start with number 1, and it says use your number grid. So do just that. If it says use a tool, use the tool. All right, this one says use a number grid. The second one has base 10 blocks. And you do your best with that one. You should know how many, what's the value of 1 long and the value of 1 cube. We've talked about that before, and it was reviewed in the YouTube video. So you can look at that, and it's saying, what am I? Oh, use a line for a 1 and a dot for a cube to show the number a different way. Oh, wow. How could you show that number a different way? Talk about it. See what you come up with. I really can't wait to see. Okay? And then you'd represent it right under there. Talk about that with your adult. Number 3, it's a word problem, and then it has something called a change diagram. And what that means is that it's a way to organize your math thinking, that there's a number that you start with. There's a number that you end with. And in the middle there was a change. Did you add? Did you subtract? How much did you add? How much did you subtract? And you'd fill it in there. You take that information and you turn it into a number sentence. So blank plus blank equals blank. Don't leave them blank. Put answers in there. Okay? Number 4, it does say to use paper clips.
What if I don't have paper clips?
If you don't have paper clips, you can use anything that is the size of a paper clip. It does say, so maybe, hopefully you have more than one of that something. And if you change it, would you cross off paper clips and write down what you changed it to? Okay? And it's asking you to measure your math journal. That's this. Let's measure it top to bottom. Okay? With either paper clips or another unit of measure that you have in your home. That's it for this. So I've attached these directions to the plan for today. It's in the email, but I'm also going to go over it right now and show you how to play. Okay? First and only thing that you will need is a deck of cards that came in your math bag. And I saw many of you used it when you were playing Fishing for Tens. That's great. You are going to need only the numbers 0 through 9 to play this game. So what I've done is I'm going to use my ace as a 0 and jacks as a 1. All right, so now I'd like to play a couple of hands. I will play both sides of this game, but I'll show you exactly how it's played. So for example, if this is player 1, these are player 1's cards, okay? Over here are player 2's cards. It's all visible, right? Great. So player 1 flips over his or her cards. Ooh, remember that is a 1 and a 7. So right now, player 1 has got a 1 and a 7. Now, a 1 and a 7, if I put that number together, I've got 17. Now, if I were to take them and flip them apart, so now the 7 is in the 10's place and the 1 is in the 1's place, I've got 71. So I have to think which is greater, 17 or 71. That's right. The 71. That 7, its value is now a 70. And the value of the 1 is 1. Okay? So player 2 flips over their cards. And this would happen at the same exact time. All right? Player 2 has a 2 and a 3. So if I think about the way that it is right now, I've got 23. If I flip the cards, go ahead and do that. I've got 32, and I have to decide, is that greater, the 23 or the 32? I'm going to stick with the 32. Now there's a big compare that goes on. 71 and 32, which one is greater? Tell your adult. Up for grabs. All right, player 1. Ah, Jack, I know that's a 1 and a 4. So right now it's 14. A 1 and, a 10, because it's a 1 and it's in the 10's place. A 10 and a 4. So now we're going to flip them. Ah, because now my 4 is a 40. 40 and a 1. 41. I wonder what player 2 will get. Remember, we said that the ace was a 0 and a 2. So right now, it's got 0 and 2. I'm going to flip those around if I'm player 2. And I've got a 2 and a 0. That 2's value is 20, and the 0 is 0. So who has more? It's 41 or 20? You got it. Player 1 gets these cards, and oh man, they get the cards from the... So, I'm looking for... the math box, page 69, completed. Remember, if you change the, where is it? If you change the unit from paper clips to something else, let me know. On this one, I am looking for how you use longs and cubes to make that number a second way, a different way. Okay, talk about it with your first grader. I'm looking for a picture of you playing the digit game. And don't forget, you can be going on Dreambox and Lexia every day. Just don't do it too much at once, okay? Like 15 minutes at a time is good. If you go a little bit over that, that's okay. Anything less than that, I don't think it's really worth it. But every day you can be doing that, okay? Also, you can be, and you should be, reading outside of what I send home with you. And there's something that I want to show to you briefly. It's this reading log. This is new. You've never seen this before, but it does have the date. It has the title of the book, who you read it to, or who you read with, or who it says read to, read with, read by. You can fill that out, and it's a double-sided deal. Okay? And you can take pictures of that, and you can send this to me too as you fill this out. It's important that you're reading every day. You can log what you read right here.